breaking news or whatever. They're on another one. Gang, gang. Gang, gang. Yeah. Gang, gang, emergency Zoom film at 11. Same 5 goons, same deranged obsession. This changes everything. Bro, it's page 47 of emotion they skin while half watching Yellowstone. Gang, gang, squinting at 8-point font like detectives. Zoom so far and the pixels are screaming for mercy. Look at this, timestamp 2020, 22, my God. But they're yelling it like they just cracked Watergate. High five. Mike's been muted for 20 minutes, still barking. Circular logic, so a lot of time to seem impressive. Trust the plan, this is massive. Nah, fam, it's boilerplate and it's mid at best. Gang, gang. Self-appointed outrage, swap patting each other like they personally ended corruption. Gang. Dropping bombshell tea that's been sitting in pizza since breakfast. Gang, gang. Moral high ground, speed run, they'll flip the script the second it's convenient. Gang. Same PowerPoint presentation, new day, same brain dead narration. Gang, gang. We're not obsessed, we're just passionate. 3-hour living yesterday's hoodie, passion in my ass. Why is he even breathing right now? Says the guy refreshing notifications every 14 seconds. Gang, gang. Playing lawyer on God mode, reading comprehension. Stuck in elementary, confidence in the stratosphere. Case dismissed. It's screaming to the void. Motion still pending, but go off, I guess.
Disagree? Obviously a paid shill. Actually read the filing, deep state plan. Laugh at them, you're clearly compromised too. Exist in the same zip code, suspicious behavior. Notify the group chat.
Gang, 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 gang. Tighter circle, smaller brain. Gang, gang. Echo chamber finally running out of oxygen. Gang, gang. Yeah. Gang, gang, acting the actual judge like it's group chat. Replay all meltdowns, labeled just asking questions. Got warned by the core once, that was a suggestion. Still get it the same screen like it's strictly trash talk. Gang, gang, we're above all this drama. While screenshotting, they on meltdown for content. Preaching peace and love while actively baiting bears. And fake shock when the bear finally bites back. How could this happen? Gang, gang, synchronized tantrum hours. 5 tabs open, all the same screenshot. Different zoom levels, gang, gang. Premature victory lap over legal language, still can't pause. Gang, gang, standing 10 toes on business until tomorrow's violence and I'm scrambling again. Gang, gang. Hype the claim to the moon, then ghost the chat when it ages like milk. Gang, gang. Gang, 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 gang. Gang, gang. Refresh, refresh. Gang, gang. Gang, 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 gang. See y'all same time tomorrow. Gang, gang. Don't be late.
Wow. Wow. You guys are awesome. Well, if you're wondering what happened with Megan and Tugs, it might have been the pew pew, the little pistola that the guy was showing. It happens. It happens. Don't stress it. It wasn't anything other than that. You know, if you're showing certain things on YouTube, they tend to get a little bit, a little bit antsy about it and get upset. And it's but just don't be surprised. Hey, Heather May, how you doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yeah, I think that she's fine. She'll probably just have to edit that little piece out of there. It happens. Everyone thinks that we are perfect in all this. Nah, it's AI will jump in there and say, nope, you can't show that. If she goes in, edits that little piece out, that'll probably bring it right back up. I don't think it was anything bad. She'll be good. She'll be good. Hello, Fallen Hero. Good to see you. Gifted a membership. Thank you so much. And Diane Chase got it. Fallen Hero, I always appreciate that you're able to do that. That is just the kindest thing. And it really, really supports the chat so much. Yeah, thanks for the clear up. Yeah, you guys don't worry. Megan's good. Megan's good. Like I said, it's not a big deal. If they're going to strike over something, ridiculous, that would be the thing that they would strike over, because all the other stuff, they can't strike over that. There's nothing else they did that could have given them that, unless somebody was intentionally attacking their channel. They would be stupid to do that, because then they get called out. What, Shizzy? Not perfect? No, I'm below mediocre, and it takes a lot of effort to stay there. It really does. Because if I achieve too much, then they're gonna start setting some sort of precedent that I don't want to set, that I'm like fabulous or something. I'm not fabulous. Good to see you, everybody. Hey, Debbie Webb. Good to see you, Cappy Taverner. And Strange Little Badger. I love that. I love that name. That's beautiful. Peggy, how you doing? Debbie Webb. Oh my gosh. Diane, you are beautiful. It is so good to see you. Maybe not wonderful. Nettie, Wes and Bama. Oh my gosh. You know the Fats will take credit for it anyways. Well, they take credit for everything, and it's like the Twat Waffles over there decided, you don't know what you're talking about. It's just like, no, I'm playing back the same video that you guys played while you were saying, look, he drives off down here and he hangs a hard left. I showed the whole video that you guys did, and I was just like, it's not the same fucking car. I watched it. I'm sitting here scrolling past the thing. I'm like, no, this is clearly not the same car. It's not shadows. It's not even the same bumper. It's got no chrome on it. It's just like, but don't worry. Don't worry. You can't believe the words that are coming out in between those teeth. They just don't make any damn sense. They've got a problem. And that problem is they want to create this narrative. Remember, they are a PR team. They are Lynette's PR team. That's why they're doing all this shit. And they are looking at, I guarantee you, go and become a creditor for the for the bankruptcy. Do it. I swear to God, that will be the most glorious shit whenever you come in there and try to explain how you raised close to $100,000 using Lynette and the child, saying that it was going to benefit them, to turn around and claim that you're a creditor. I cannot fucking wait to see that excuse. That is going to be magnificent. I want to see the filings. I want to see the filings like they've got to be just glorious. Please try to become a creditor. Oh, you will make my day. You will make my day, because I will constantly roast you for the rest of your fucking miserable life. It's going to be beautiful. Is Camelot 331 in here? Brother. Camelot, my brother. You are the bestest in the whole damn world. And I'm telling you, are they kicking you around again? Because if they're kicking you around, we can't have that. We need to get together and do a stream. I need to have you over here, or I come over there or something. Hit me up on Twitter. You've got the link. It's easy. We'll get together. Maybe get Nick, the Ricada Meister in there, and he's already called me Shizzy Whiz, whatever. So we're gonna have words. Me and Nick Ricada gonna have words. It's gonna be awesome. Thanks for coming in, Camelot. I mean, you're the man. You've got such a great channel, and if you guys haven't checked it out, it's beautiful stuff. And he does the naked snake, and it's hilarious. How long have you been doing that it's been going on for you, Camelot? Last time I checked, it was like 300 and some odd days. Oh, it was insane. Right down 65 from Camelot right now in Coleman. There you go, Wes. Yeah, we got Alabama people in here, even though I'm in Georgia, we still love everybody in the United States of America. Rafa Rack, who who I'm talking about. That Nick Ricada guy, he does some sort of YouTube channel talking about law and all that kind of shite. That's all right. We have too much fun over here. Yeah, these fucktards want to sit there and say, "Oh, that's your shit." No, I'm just vetting the shit that you're showing. If you're showing your ass, I'm taking pictures of it. It's not my fault. Tuskegee, Alabama. Oh, awesome, Jen Hale. We love our Alabama neighbors. Although we like to give Alabama a bad name and give them a hard time. No. They edited the video. Of course they edited the video. Strike. Oh my gosh. Perth, Australia. Man, I've got you know, that at some point in time, I am going to be in Australia, and it's going to be a blast. My wife and I, we were talking about swimming the Great Barrier Reefs, and one of our friends that's from New Zealand, he was like, man, if you're going to go do Australia, you need to make like a 3-week long vacation at bare minimum, and go do like the Barrier Reefs, go visit Australia, because Australia is huge. And you know, you're not going to want to see all of it, because some of it's just, it's there's nothing there. Like, it's pretty desolate. And then, you know, take and go over to New Zealand and have a good time. No, it was no, Anna, it was I think it was the Pew Pew video that she showed of the quadra amputee, the quadruple amputee, that was firing a weapon. That will get you struck. Go see Aussie Overlaw. I'm telling you, because, you know, and I will tell you that not only have I been on Aussie Overlaws, but I've also been on with Drex, whenever he was doing another kind of stream. I've been on with Drex, Aussie Overlaw. Yeah, and those were the early days of YouTube, whenever I was first starting out. It's crazy. Great grandkids celebrates 13 months of being here. Did someone get Meg and Tug kicked off tonight? They got themselves kicked off tonight. Oh, they you know, if she edits that piece out, it should come right back up. It'll tell her what got her struck. Oh, my homeland is such a beautiful place. That's what I'm saying. And, you know, I have lots of friends that I've talked to over there. I know there's a couple of people that I met early on. And, you know, if I do end up making that trip to Australia, I got to take something over there with me. And I hope they don't like get me in trouble for it. It's just a box. Just a simple little box. Hey, buffed old man. No, in Australia would be a fun time, but that would be like vacation, you know, swim the Great Barrier Reefs and all that kind of stuff. We're gonna have a good time. She had to go to bed anyway. Yeah, she's got an appointment tomorrow. You know, prayers out to Megan and the family, because, you know, even though it's probably not a major surgery, Mr. Fox has to go in for that crap, and it's just that sucks. You know, you always worry. You always worry. Give me just a second. I'm about to cough. Anyone want to join me up here in space? Hey, Jesse. No, I am the biggest space cadet here. T42, how you doing? Good to see you, Crystal. Yeah, it dozed off and woke up to silence. It happens. It'll be fine. Yeah. I was actually working on something whenever she disappeared. I was like, what the hell happened? Like, all of a sudden it got quiet. Like, she was in the middle of doing super chats, and all of a sudden it got quiet. I was like, what just happened? And then I looked up, and I had to find the tab open, and it was on double duty taking care of her family. Exactly. Hey, who's trying to move in space? This is my frontier. Well, you can't have it. You can't have it. Well, and you know, I don't know. I was looking, and I don't think I've put one of my videos up there. But you guys are going to get first look at a video that I did with Mo. And if you're wondering what this particular video is about, it's pretty straightforward. Now we were sort of a little concerned, because there's this happy squirrel, you know, and he was a little put down. He was sort of struggling with life. And he didn't have a whole lot of anything to do except for, well, I guess the best way to do it is just show you the video, because it was so sad that this poor little squirrel, he was locked out in the cold. And where did I put it? I thought I had it up here. I don't have it up here. And it was where? What the hell? I can't find it now. I had it here a second ago. Doggone it! Where did it go? I'll find it for you guys, because it was about a squirrel, and I don't see, and I know I pulled it up. Wow, that's not it. Well, I guess I'm not going to show you that because apparently it's disappeared off of wherever the hell I had it. I don't even think I've uploaded it yet. Well, it happens. Yeah, it's a happy song. That's why I was like, where did it go? Let me see if I can locate it again, because man, it was such a good one. History, is it there? No, it's not. I honestly don't know where it went to. And I don't know how I found it either, because it was one of those I was working on. I'm so bad sometimes. You know, that's the bad part about me, is there's days where I'm like doing really good, and then other days that I just completely slack. Oh, I think this is it. Is this it? Well, that's the song. That's not the video. Yeah, that's just the song. Yeah, I just have the song. Where did the video go for it? I know that I had it there. I'm losing my damn mind. I know I'm losing my mind now, because it was right there. I bet you anything I haven't even uploaded it yet. So that means I'm going to have to show you guys from where I've got it saved. It's such a good one. I think got it. Yeah, okay. That's weird. It never downloaded. Well, I'll show it to you guys from this place, because that's crazy. What the hell just happened? Full screen, and make sure that I get it to, God bless America. Why is it acting so weird? Oh, here we go. Let's put it in the high definition. And give me a second. I will find it here. And we're going to share this guys with you guys, because this is about Gerald. Gerald was a squirrel. I created a whole story about Gerald. This is the best way to show it to you guys. Here we go. Oh,
Medina County, Ohio. Oh, yeah. Come on now. Y'all know how the story go. They're trying to blame the squirrel. But hold a minute. We gonna flip this thing right now. Flip it, flip it. Let's go, let's go. Cold wind sleeping through that hollow oak tree. 4 little babies crying, Daddy, feed me. Feed me. Y'all feel it. Forest all gone where them strip malls pop up high. Concrete kingdom built by the man, tell me why. By the hand of the man. Come on. Acorns used to fall like blessings every fall. Ooh. Now the branch is empty, not a nut at all. Empty, empty. Bird feeders like tight spikes shining mean. Ooh. Whole world set up just to starve a squirrel clean. Starve us clean out, ain't right. Gerald hit the streets, head low but fired high. Dumpster diving hard behind the courthouse sky. Stale fries, old bun, barely holding on. But 4 miles waiting, singing the same song. Baby's waiting. Everybody say they call him Bell some squirrel. That's the name they throw. But the man told the forest down, where you gonna go? They holler sabotage when the lines go cold. But hunger hit harder when the bellies get full. Oh, they blame the squirrel for the wires he chew. Mother, daddy gotta do what a daddy gotta do. Daddy gotta do what a daddy gotta do. Oh, yes he do. Come on, fam. Oh, daddy gotta do what a daddy gotta do. Y'all with me? Stomp on it. One dark night he spot that glow in the frost. Humming metal box counted as a loss. Come on now. Warm air breathing.
Just
like
back.
a wind come through, look like paradise to a dad pushing through.
Paradise, yes.
Dragged in leaves, built a nest down deep. Margaret whisper, baby, we gon' keep.
We gon' keep, let's go.
4 kids, curl tight, finally warm and still. First piece in the storm, got that real will.
Got the wheel well.
But black cables twist like snakes in the wall. Gerald started knowing, clear room for y'all.
Didn't know.
1 crunch,
Phone drop.
dead.
2 more pairs.
Commissioner screaming, tax losing their head.
Losing it.
Gerald just fixing what the cold messed up instead.
Fixing for his own victory.
They call him meddlesome squirrel, pointing condemned. But the man sold the woodland for a profit hit him. They scream outage when the fiber turned black, but survival got bite when the system pushed back. Oh, they blame a squirrel for the wires he chewed. But a daddy gotta do what a daddy gotta do. A daddy gotta do what a daddy gotta do. Oh, yes, he do. Higher now. Oh, daddy gotta do what a daddy gotta do.
Yes, tell us,
Stomp
brother.
on it, victory.
Now they held the big meat.
Charge reports, investigation long.
Oh, so sad.
Saying this squirrel meddlesome wrong.
So wrong. So wrong. Poor little squirrel.
But not one soul mentioned the forest, stay clear.
Not one.
Not one
so
breath
hungry.
for 4 babies starving in fear.
Tell the truth.
Come on.
So sad.
Funny how the blame always lands on the smallest creature, never the hand that cut it all down first. Ain't that something? Now let's go.
Squad. They call him Meddlesome Squad. They call him Meddlesome Squad. They call him Meddlesome Squad.
Daddy call it do.
Call him Meddlesome Squad.
Oh yeah.
Gotta do.
Oh yeah.
Gotta do what a daddy gotta do.
Oh yes you do.
Gotta do what a daddy gotta do.
Oh.
Daddy gotta do. Daddy gotta do what a daddy gotta do.
Poor little squirrel. He was so left out in the cold.
Gotta do what a daddy gotta do. Daddy gotta do what a daddy gotta do.
Stomp on it, victory.
Oh, yeah. Letting you guys feed on in here. Letting you guys feed on in here as we do this wonderful, wonderful thing that we call YouTube. And give me just a second. I will pull up the document where we left off. Yeah, I know everybody was saying, whoa, Fleesa called you out. Yeah, she didn't call shit out. She called herself out for trying to fool everybody. Yeah, trying to fool everybody, saying, oh yeah, look, this was what was happening when it wasn't. You know, it's one of those games that these folks love to play. They love to play this game of saying, hey, look, Jeremy is doing all these horrible things and Jeremy Hales' followers are doing these bad things. And they're not. Yo, Lee, how you doing, love? Going to go back crocheting and listening. Hi, maybe not. Good to see you, Yoli. You are a wonderful, wonderful person. And, you know, I need to have you on here sometime. And everybody, Yoli is an absolute sweetheart. If you haven't met Yoli, you don't know what you're missing. When you were a kid, you had a pet flying squirrel. He was awesome. That's very cool, Johnny. Good to see you. How is Miss Just Dawn? Well, Miss Just Dawn is just Miss Libby. That is Miss Libby. Don't you be messing with that redheaded stepchild. We will hurt you. Yoli King. Let the knots behave for you. Have a good night. I love that. Yes, Yoli is awesome. And you guys that have seen, Yoli is legally smart. Yes, she is. Yes, indeed she is. Late, better than never. There's nothing wrong with being late to this craziness. But yeah, I did post a response to the Fleesa because, you know, she's too chicken shit to actually email me because she knows that I would destroy her. Yeah, see, she's scared. You know, she's more chicken than those skins that she eats off of the bark of trees. She's like a rat infantation. No, I was meaning Fleesa, not Elfie. No, Fleesa is not responsible for most erectile dysfunction in the villages, in my opinion. Oh, hey, it could be. I don't know. I don't know. It could be. Leave no crumbs. Hey, Side Eyes, you are so awesome. I enjoy Side Eyes. She gives me plenty of humor, I will tell you. Yeah, and here is Yoli's channel right there. Yoli's channel. It is YouTube Yoli King. Absolutely. And yo, all Daltman, how you doing? Good to see you. Oh, it's Dalman. Sorry. Doll Mom, good to see you. I'm sorry. My eyes are not as good as they used to be, and because they changed all the names, now they look really, really weird. Oh, okay, Miss Divine. Good to see you. We all enjoy Side Eyes. Yeah, how can you not enjoy Side Eyes, Jess? She's absolutely wonderful. I'm determining whether I should even show the post because it's absolutely ridiculous. Yeah. No, I'll save it for later. Let's get through some of this court document because it's crazy. Make sure I get the right one here. We've got a lot of crap to go through tonight. I don't think we'll get it all tonight. Good evening, Vicky. Good to see you. I hope you're doing well. So as we left off here, and I'll just remove that from here and I'll do it right here because it's a little bit easier for you guys to see. We left off here. The meaning of the Section 2265 does not preclude a procedural due process claim under Section 1983. The relevant inquiry for procedural due process is whether Appellee Owen, as a state official acting under the color of state law, deprived appellants of protected interest without adequate process. Now, what you guys are probably wondering, what was this all about? Now, this had a lot to do with Owen saying, you know, the judge, and whenever Hales sued Owen, trying to get Levy County to follow through on following those protective orders that were made in Ohio but should be covered federally, Owen said, you can't sue me over this. It was the sheriff's fault. I wasn't acting as law enforcement. And the court agreed, and they dismissed it with pure prejudice. And this is the appeal filing that came in from Hales saying, this is what these are the claims we're stating. I don't think that they'll make it through the appellate court. This will end up having to go to a higher court if they decide to pursue it. That's just my opinion on this. I think that they do make some very valid claims here, that he was acting as law enforcement by researching, going back and looking and saying, hey, we think that he lied on his testimony whenever he got this protective order. And so we're going to go back and we're going to look at what the initial filing was of what he filed to see if he perjured himself. It's already been adjudicated. The defendants in this have already been found guilty. They've also been found to have broken that protective order. And in the state of Ohio agreed with it, that they broke the protective order, that they violated everything that was supposed to be followed through on that. And Levy County still will not follow through on that protective order. And this is their appeal to try to hold accountable the district attorney, or the state's attorney, the district attorney that didn't do this, which is Owen. Owen was a state official who exercised authority over the enforcement of the protection orders by advising law enforcement not to enforce them and by initiating an immediate investigation into their validity, to see if probable cause existed to support a charge of perjury against the victim. Whether or not Owen falls within the specific statutory definition of law enforcement personnel under 2265, he clearly acted under color of state law in a manner that deprived appellants of their liberty interests without due process. Moreover, the district court's analysis improperly resolved disputable factual and legal questions at the motion to dismiss stage. The complaint alleges that Owen was a state official without authority over the enforcement of protection orders in Levy County. Whether his specific role or authority brought him within the scope of 2265 enforcement mandate is a question that should be resolved after discovery, not on a motion to dismiss. The factual allegations in the complaint accepted as true, viewed in the light most favorable, blah, blah, blah. The allegations show that Owen acted under color of law, unilaterally refused to enforce valid judicial protection orders and instead initiated investigation into their validity, all without providing any notice, hearing, or opportunity. Yeah, that's what I thought. Megan just texted me and she was like, it was the gun footage. It was the pew pew footage. The district court faulted Jeremy and George for failing to allege what he was, in his view, supposed to do or how he should have enforced the orders. This criticism improperly demands a level of factual specificity that Federal Rule Civil Procedure 8A2 does not require. They also allege that Owen was required under federal law to give full faith and credit to the protection orders and enforce them. They allege that Owen refused to do so and instead immediately investigated a criminal investigation against the victim. That would just be like, imagine a woman being raped. We'll just say it in a gentle way. Gets a protective order against the person that did this to her. And then whenever she moves states and that person moves next door to them, she says, listen, this person is not supposed to be within my vicinity. He's not supposed to be within 500 feet of me, and he's everywhere that I go. And then Owen coming in and saying, well, how about we do an investigation whether he actually did this or not? That's basically what they're saying here. And they have pretty valid claim on that. The specific mechanisms by the way that Owen should have enforced the orders, whether by investigating or prosecuting violations, by coordinating with law enforcement who told Owen they need some help, or by other means, are matters that can be developed through discovery. At the pleading stage, Jeremy and George need only to allege enough facts to show that Owen had a duty to enforce the orders under federal law and that he failed to do so without providing adequate processes. And the complaint satisfies this standard. The district court's failure to draw reasonable inferences in favor of Jeremy and George, despite detailed allegations of harm and specific allegations by Owen that effectively nullify the protective orders, demonstrates a plausible and well-supported claim for violation of procedural due process that should have survived a motion to dismiss. Their conclusion that Owen's actions did not nullify the protection orders reflects a failure to draw reasonable inferences in Jeremy and George's favor. When Assistant State Attorney advises law enforcement not to enforce protection orders and refuses to prosecute those violations of those orders, the practical effect is to render the orders unenforceable. And they've got a valid claim here. I just don't think that because courts do not like being proven wrong, and especially whenever you got a shitty ass district attorney that's not going to prosecute. Here's the problem that they're running into is you've got a district attorney that is not going to prosecute somebody if they violate any criminal law. A perfect example is John Cook. John Cook went out, pulled a firearm on an 8-year-old child, pulled a firearm, was thrown in jail, was arrested for it, was put in jail, spent 30 days in jail, and they did not prosecute. They released him. I don't know. I'm beginning to wonder if maybe Owens is getting his drugs from John Cook and Lynette Preston. I think that would be a valid question. Is this where he's getting his little, drugs from? Or maybe he's got them, moving drugs across state lines. Who knows? I mean, there's lots of inference there, because it seems like he's not going to do anything to prosecute these people. He's just going to let them run rampant. The pleading standard does not require detailed factual allegations, but it demands more than an unadorned accusation. However, the complaint need not prove the plaintiff's case at the pleading stage. And I think this is something that Randy also ran into with the initial pleading against the 11 defendants. I think that's how many people there were in Fed 2. Is there wasn't enough information in there. They would have to come back and they would have to actually add in more information. And that's what's going to be coming up here soon, is you're going to see that he has updated that information. Hey, Yamaha, how you doing, brother? Good to see you. Make sure that you hit that like and subscribe. And brother, it's the same link that I gave you before. It hasn't changed. If you ever want to come in here and tell me how much of a dumbass I am, which I deserve it entirely, especially coming from you. A claim that has facial plausibility when the plaintiff pleads a factual content that allows the court to draw the reasonable inference that the defendant is liable for the misconduct alleged. And I think in future filings that Randy does in regards to Jeremy, needs to be very explicit on the things that they're finding. If they do that, I think that he's going to stand a much stronger chance of coming up against these idiots that are just like, oh, you didn't plead enough in there. I mean, what do you want? Do I need to hit you with the sledgehammer for you to understand that they're swinging a sledgehammer? They're about to hurt somebody. Appellants allege they requested enforcement on multiple occasions and were told that the report would be for documentation only, based on Owen's position. Jeremy and George alleged that as a result of Owen's actions, they suffered ongoing harm, including physical harm, threats, emotional distress, fear of death, and bodily injury, which is very true, because they've had to up security because they can't trust that Levy County is going to do their job. Please just butthurt, and that's a lot of hurt. She's been caught lying again and again, over and over and over. These allegations plausibly support the inference that Owen's actions effectively nullify the effect of the orders, which it did. If they're not going to say, listen, you are within the bounds that you should not be in this location, and then they just go, oh, just leave. No, this is the time you need to arrest them, because they are putting people in harm's way. And we said this the other night. Jeremy does not want to go to that extreme where he has to use, any means necessary to get these people to stop. But they're not leaving him with a whole lot of opportunity, because if they're not going to enforce the protective orders, that means that whenever they break this protective order and he actually has to do something that he doesn't want to do, the outcome of that is going to be horrible. And that's not something that he wants. But they're putting him in that position because they're effectively saying, oh, we'll just document his fuck-ups. John Cook and Lynette's fuck-ups. We'll just document it for you. That instead of actually getting them to stop. At the motion to dismiss stage, the court must accept these allegations as true, draw all reasonable inferences, and George and Jeremy's favor. The district court's contrary conclusions reflects improper weighing of the evidence and resolution of disputed factual questions. Taken together, these allegations state a facially plausible claim for violation of procedural due process. The complaint contains sufficient factual matter accepted as true to allow the court to draw the reasonable inference that Owen is liable for the alleged constitutional violation. They're not merely conclusory, they identify specific actions that Owen took, sending the email requesting documents to investigate perjury, refusing to enforce the orders, advising law enforcement not to enforce them, specific dates, specific individuals involved, specific harm suffered. These allegations, accepted as true and viewed in the light most favorable to Jeremy and George, plausibly support each element of procedural due process claim and satisfy the Twombly standard. This court should reverse the district court's order granting the motion to dismiss and remand for further proceedings. Assistant state attorneys performing investigative functions are law enforcement personnel. The functional approach to immunity emphasizes that an official's entitlement to absolute immunity depends on the specific function performed, such as advocacy in judicial proceedings, rather than their title and investigative or administrative actions, even by prosecutors, are only protected by qualified immunity, not absolute immunity. The determination whether an official qualifies as law enforcement personnel and whether that official is entitled to immunity depends on the function performed, not the official's title or rank. That's Stevens versus Osuna. And the Supreme Court has applied a functional approach in determining whether an official is entitled to absolute immunity. This functional approach applies equally to determining who constitute law enforcement for purposes of statutory enforcement obligations. Critical question is what function the official was performing, not what title the official holds. And that right there is the question. In all of this, was it the title that he holds, or what function was he doing? State prosecutors are entitled to absolute immunity from damages under 1983 for all acts intimately associated with the judicial phase of the criminal process. And what they're talking about is if they charge somebody and it was a bad charge. And you sort of do want to have this kind of immunity. As an attorney, imagine this: you pew somebody, and they bring charges against you. They bring you into court. They haul you in there, and you end up spending, half your life in prison. And then whenever you get out of prison, because they found the guy that actually did do the shooting, you actually could come back and sue them. And what they're trying to do is stop this kind of thing from happening, because he was given the evidence, he tried the case and won the case, and they don't want him to be held liable for doing his damn job, which was trying the case, finding that you were guilty, and prosecuting you on the merits of the case. Even if they find somebody later on, they don't want you to come back and say, hey, we screwed up. Now, you could go after the county, the state, whatever, and try to recoup, something, which we've seen those be very successful. But going after them individually is something completely different. That's what they're trying to avoid. However, for acts done as an administrator or investigative officer rather than of advocate, the prosecutors received only qualified immunity. Prosecutorial immunity, however, does not apply when a prosecutor is not acting as an officer of the court, but is instead engaging in certain investigative or administrative tasks. Prosecutors are not absolutely immune for conducting investigative work before an arrest, making statements to the press, and providing legal advice to police regarding pre-indictment investigation techniques. Yeah, Roslyn is awesome. But it's the BS good old boy system, besides Russ being crooked as hell. Yeah, that's basically what it's boiling down to. The complaint alleges that Owen was investigating whether Hales committed perjury in obtaining the protection orders. Owen himself concedes in his motion to dismiss that he was investigating the Ohio court's jurisdiction over the restrained parties. This investigative activity is not entitled to absolute immunity. This means that Owens was functioning as an investigator, not as an advocate in judicial proceedings. Yeah, pointing them in some sort of direction of what they need to be doing as law enforcement officers. I think he was stepping into that spot. When prosecutors conduct pre-charging investigations, they perform law enforcement functions regardless of their official title. As an investigator, when she searches for clues and corroboration that might give her probable cause to recommend the suspect be arrested, the email sent by Owen requesting documents to investigate potential perjury occurred before any charging decision and before any judicial proceedings related to enforcement of the protection orders. So it's about the placement. Had he been charging John and Lynette and had them in court and said, I need you gentlemen to look and see if this is a valid protective order before I continue prosecuting it, completely different than saying before you even arrest them for failing to follow the rules that were set before them. That becomes a really big problem, because now you're looking at, if you're in a court case, yeah, sheriff's department, do your job. Tell me what you find. But other than that, if you're doing it before any charges are brought, whenever they're still doing the enforcement part of it, he's putting himself in that enforcement position. He was conducting the type of investigation that law enforcement officers perform when deciding the existence of probable cause. Instead of reaching out to the district attorney, they should have reached out themselves. They shouldn't have had him telling them what to do. And their bullshit about totality of the evidence. Well, Jeremy was it doesn't matter. A protective order doesn't matter that way. And you'll find this out if you ever have a protective order against somebody. If you have, and we've seen this in how many different SOV, sit, and court cases that we've watched, you will see that if for example, a woman goes and gets a restraining order against an abusive boyfriend, husband, whatever it might be. Perfect example would be Laura Owens. Not Laura Owens, but Sarah Boone. Sarah Boone had a protective order against her boyfriend. And he had a protective order against her. But he would still show up to get a little bit of nookie, all right? Whenever he would show up, they would get shit-faced drunk, they would argue, and depending on what protective order whoever called first, that protective order basically said, you cannot be here. Even if she invites you over, you cannot be here. And whenever they're talking about the totality of this bullshit, Jeremy should be able to walk wherever he wants to. And it should be like this big glass bubble around him. John and Lynette, if they're within that glass bubble, they need to be pushed the fuck out and away from him. No matter where he goes. That's how that protective order works. Even if Jeremy calls them up and says, hey, can you guys come over here? I got something I want to show you. They should go, we have a protective order. We are not coming over there to see you. That is exactly, you like bubbles. Yamaha Triker. I like that. Someone's making fun of you, Yamaha. You gonna let that happen? We got Yamaha Triker here. Do you really think LP will show up tomorrow? My curious question is, do you think that the flea is going to show up tomorrow? Or do you think that she's going to get too shit-faced drunk tonight or too high tonight that she's going to forget all about it? I would bet she'll probably get too drunk or fucked up to even think about it. She might be, just working those gums on, never mind. The prosecutor made such investigatory acts prior to determination of probable cause. Cite some statutes here. Appellee Owen exercised decisive functional control over the enforcement of Ohio protection orders by directing law enforcement not to act, thereby position himself as the key authority responsible for enforcement decisions under federal law. The complaint reasonably infers that Owen's investigation and conclusions controlled. We've already talked about that. When deputy reported George's request for enforcement on November 20th, 2023, the deputy explicitly stated that he had reviewed Owen's email and that it advised caution against enforcing orders. What was that? I saw something really good. Lynette has no choice. Oh, no, she has a choice. You always have a choice. But if she doesn't show up, it's not going to look good for her. Let's put it that way, because she's got they'll just hold her in contempt. Her mom didn't die. I don't know. The complaint reasonably infers that Owen's investigation and conclusion controlled whether the Levy County Sheriff's Office would enforce the protection orders. When a deputy reported we already read that. The deputy informed George that the report would be for documentation only, meaning that no other action would be taken to enforce the Ohio orders. Basically, we'll document it, and then you just need to screw off. Too many want to be me. I don't know why you'd want that, but there it is. There it is. Hey, they can only be one. There can only be one. His investigation position effectively prevented any enforcement action. Dysfunctional control over enforcement decisions places him squarely within the category of law enforcement personnel responsible for enforcement under federal law. This court should reverse the district court's order and blah, blah, blah. Longstanding constitutional statutory mandates. It just basically is going to go through what all of that is. This conduct clearly violates the established law. The 1996 opinion makes a compelling case that foreign protection orders issued under the Violence Against Women Act must be enforced by Florida law enforcement without investigation, registration, or application of foreign judgment procedures, thereby ensuring immediate and effective protection for victims. And this, you have to understand that this part right here is actually one of the more important parts. Because they're saying, oh, well, it's Violence Against Women Act. There's a woman involved, in case you didn't know George is actually a woman. And it wouldn't matter because that was just the name of the enactment of the law. It could be any part of the protection order that is recognized federally, which is what this is right here. And they're talking about law enforcement without investigation, registration, or application of state foreign judgment procedures, which means they should act willfully and negligently, is what it sounds to me like. But that's not what it means. What it means is that they should, whenever you say, listen, I have a protective order against this person, can you do something about it? And they fail to act on it, it becomes a big problem. And it basically goes through the law of this. And I'm not going to read all of this. Full faith and credit requires states to recognize and enforce final judgments, including protection orders from other states, without re-examining their merits or underlying reasoning. And what they're talking about here is they shouldn't come back and try to relitigate the case and say, well, I don't know, was this protective order valid? That's not their job. That is not their job. It's already been adjudicated. It would just be like if somebody was arrested in Florida, for example, for a burglary, and they got probation, but they moved the probation to another state. That other state isn't going to come back and say, well, we're here in Ohio. We don't think that was considered, a felony for, stealing from old people. We don't consider that a felony here in Ohio. So, we're questioning the validity of the state prosecuting this case right here. And we're just we're not going to follow through on the probation. That's basically what they're saying. LP's going to be popping anxiety and Zanny's like Tic Tacs. What? That's what you're talking about, a Tuesday, right? Or any day that ends in Y. I'm just saying that right there, that's a pretty normal thing for her. Instead of enforcing the protection orders as required by federal law, Owen investigated, and we've already gone over that before. It's just a reiteration of how he was doing this as an investigation. And in doing so, that instead of enforcing the orders, they just investigated. At the pleading stage, it is sufficient for plaintiffs to allege that the refusal of officials to enforce valid protection orders plausibly caused their harm, even if the direct harm was inflicted by third parties, thereby supporting reversal of the district court's dismissal. What they're trying to say here is that, even if a third party caused harm, they plausibly caused the harm by not following through with what they were supposed to be doing, is what they're claiming on this. And it makes sense to you and I whenever we're looking at this, because it's just like, well, yeah, that would make sense if, of course, for example, you see somebody falling off a cliff and you have the ability, you're actually, reaching out to grab their hand, and then you pull your hand back, go psych, as they fall off the cliff. Well, you could be liable for letting them fall off the cliff whenever you could have actually grabbed their hand and pulled them up. And that's what they're having to prove is, did that work? Any suggestion that they failed to adequately allege causation between the harm was caused by the restraints party, not by Owen's actions, misunderstands the nature of the appellant's claims and the causation standard. Like I said, and then you could also look at it as we put a sign up that said, don't cross this line, and that person crossed the line and they ended up getting hurt. But we totally warned them before they went across, and well, we shouldn't be held liable. And that's sort of what their stance is on it, is saying, well, we put a sign up there and they still did it anyway, and then harm came to them. So, we're not in trouble for it. And, tough titty. I guess maybe they're signaling to George and Jeremy that, whenever they break that protection order, that, if any harm comes to John Cook because of that, well, that's on John Cook. That's what it sounds like to me. They're just like, I don't know, Wild West, man, down south in Florida. There isn't a tic-tac enough to fix what's going on with that mouth funk. Oh, damn, Rosalind. Damn. Throwing down the shade. Oh, by the way, guys, I'm going to be over on Rosalind's on, what is it, the 31st, Rosalind? The 31st? It's going to be early evening. We're going to get all nice and sexy. I might show up in my denim shorts. You never know. We call them jorts here in the South. Her 501 community service out farms. The casual chain alleged the complaint is straightforward. Appellants had valid protection orders designed to protect them from the restraining parties. Federal law requires federal officials to enforce those orders. Owen refused to enforce the orders and instead investigated their validity in violation of federal law. The sheriff's office relied on Owen's position and declined to enforce the orders. As a result, restrained parties continued their threatening behavior without legal consequence. They suffered harm from this lack of enforcement. This is sufficient to allege causation at the pleading stage. Complaint need not prove causation or eliminate all alternative explanation. It only needs to allege facts that plausibly suggest Owen's conduct caused complaint's harm. And the conclusion in this is this court should reverse the district court's order granting motion to dismiss and remand for further proceedings. And then that really is it. I mean, the rest of it is just going to give out information that should be redacted. Jizzy, not enough antacid laxative to swallow that line of crap. No, nobody's swallowing. No, never should you be doing lines of crap. Ever. As I will show you. You should never be doing lines of crap. And there's a reason for this. This is not indicative, but this is sort of predictive. I think. You tell me. You tell me if this is predictive or not. Oh yeah.
Sun's out. Palm trees sway. Why is it snowing in Florida? Somebody check her pupils.
Stream was rolling, mouth on autopilot. Confidence loud, but the brain went silent. Talking like nothing could ever go wrong. Then the shit got weird and the pause too long.
Psycho blinking like Morse code. Thoughts doing donuts off road. Chat goes quiet, she starts to sweat. That's why she feel that internet. Finger hovering over end. Can't rewind shit you already said. Heart racing like a fled. It's snowing in Florida, must be cold.
Whole damn stream got the dough. Whole damn stream got the leader gonna soul. But she kept the clip, she should've hold. 43 seconds, solid gold.
I was erased like they never existed, but that one moment, oh, it resisted. Worst damn take of the whole damn night. Framed it, saved it, hit upload, right? Sunshine state, but she seeing flakes. Talking in circles, tripping on takes. Deletes the past like it's gonna heal, but panic always leaks the real. You can scrub the drive, you can curse the cloud, but you left the part where you said it out loud. Nice work, crowd.
It's snowing in Florida, hit delete. Kept the proof and killed the beat. Erase the context, not the receipt. 43 seconds, sweep the street. It's out of context. It was a joke. It's edited
Oh yeah.
by you. Give me everything, give me everything. Give me everything, give me everything. Set the crime scene.
Now comes the spin, watch it unfold. Same old script, getting real old. Blame the weather, blame the stress, blame the chat for your mess. But you can't blame pause, you can't blame fear. You can't blame why that clip's still here. You chose to keep, you chose to cut. Accidental honesty, oops, whoops nuts.
It's snowing in Florida, melting fast. Try to outrun your digital past. Burn the house, but the door was glass. 43 seconds gonna last.
Spin, lagging. Spin, try again.
Give me everything, give me everything. Give me everything, give me everything.
Oh yes, snowing in Florida. Yeah, and that isn't the completed video. There's still more to go with that. Never know what the court will do, but I do know the news station has got wind of it now. And that's what you really want. You really want to get that out there, because this is going to come back on Owen and any re-election art that he wants to have. And the people should know that are going to be, in his community that could possibly be tried by him, to find out that this motherfucker will not prosecute somebody. Just to think how that makes people in that county, in that district, think of this guy, that they could have somebody come to their house, stalk them, do vile things to them. They could possibly even, break into their house, and there's nothing that he's going to do to prosecute them. Just imagine, once Levy County figures this out, and that news station figures out that no matter what anybody in this county does to somebody else in the county, they're just going to just go, we don't believe the validity of this. Dan Owen's position is appointed. Oh yeah, but the problem is whenever the shit hits the fan, I don't think he's going to want to be there for that. This is where you can find Shizzy's music. Oh yeah, Heather May. Now, as we've been, you guys have probably heard a little bit about this. Now, it is quite interesting, to say the least. And that was this little thing that's happening with Lynette Preston. Now, I was able to catch Jeremy. I'm sorry. Let me back that up a little bit. Megan and Tug stream tonight, and it's very interesting, those emails. You know, Felisa wants to jump in there, and you know that she wants to throw that all her weight into this because she's scared. She is definitely scared that now she wants to become a creditor. And I don't know how she's going to explain. There's going to be some explaining to do if she comes in trying to say, I'm a creditor. Okay. It doesn't mean you don't show the documentation proving that you're a creditor. Doesn't mean that you don't open up those bank accounts so you can see where that money actually came from. Yeah, they're going to be doing a little bit more of a deep dive. See, and as much as Megan and Tug, and I have to say, they're pretty spot on with it. But I think as far as Saran Wrap, I think that he's in no different position than they were in the Ohio court case. So Saran Wrap, if you're listening, you might want to dig a little bit fucking deeper than taking for face value what these fuckers are giving you, because if you are, you're going down with them also. Just saying. You might want to dig into a little bit more and stop taking for face value what they're telling you, because more than likely they're doing the same thing that the attorney did in the Ohio court, and just taking for face value the garbage that they've been feeding him, and he's about to get a rude awakening that shit don't match up. And whenever the evidence starts piling up, what you gonna do, Saran Wrap? You might want to look into this a little bit deeper instead of just going, but they told me that X, Y, and Z happened. Because if you don't dig into it and you allow this shit to happen and you fraudulently know that stuff, you are going to be in the same position as David Greengas or Ginger Ass or whatever the hell his name is. You're going to be in the same position. You're going to be looking at getting your ass disbarred. Because instead of working with your client, you were working with these third parties that were feeding you a bunch of bad information. That's negligent. And as soon as you find out, Saran Wrap, you best file an amendment and explain exactly what the fuck happened, because you will be finding out that Lynette knows that there's money there. Lynette knows that they raised money on her behalf. Lynette has confirmed that they did not give her the money that was raised for her. And you're complicit in it, just as Bruce is. And Bruce has already thrown you under the fucking bus. You don't know it yet, but he's thrown your ass under the bus because he doesn't give two shits about Florida. He's hoping to screw as much people in Florida as he can before the long arm just reaches out, snags his ass back there, and tries him for 12 felonies. Oh, I bet you don't know about those either, but Saran Wrap, you might want to look into those too, because, you know, he's been doing some shady shit, and you're just as implicit in it as he is. Doesn't it feel good? As a creditor, she's opened herself to an audit to show that she has the income to share, give, or loan to Lynette. Exactly, Firestarter. All of that stuff comes in there. You better be swimming in a pool of lube. Well, I mean, that's Paint Chip's job. He likes to swim in that pool of lube. You know, he usually just gets the drippings off of mutton flops, jaws to, just slather it on his greasy little body. It's so disgusting. I don't want to think about it. All right, let's bring this one up right here. So this right here is the Chapter 7 trustees joinder in objection to debtor's claim of homestead exemption. Doc 26, Teresa Bender, Chapter 7 trustee, and pursuant to 11 U.S.C. 522 Federal Rule of Bankruptcy Procedure 4003 and applicable Florida law hereby joins, adopts, incorporates by reference the objection to debtors' claims of exemptions regarding homestead. Now, this is the homestead that was filed by Lynette. Saran Wrap filed this and said that, but it's homestead. It should be homestead exemption. They should totally be allowed to do this because, if you're wondering what the perfect voice for Ram Saran is, it's more like this. And I was thinking that if I could just get some more, a little bit of, Chuck E. Cheese over here, we might be able to help you out with that. Hereby joins, adopts, incorporates the reference objection to debtors' claims of exemption regarding homestead. The objection filed by Jeremy Hales and states, the trustee joins the objection solely on the ground that the debtors claimed homestead exceeds the constitutional size limitation for property located within municipality under Article 10, Section 4 of the Florida Constitution. As set forth in the objection, the debtor commenced this Chapter 7 case on July 8th, 2025. Think about where we're at right now. We are in the end of March. April is coming really soon. April, May, June, July. In 3 months, her bankruptcy will have been going on for a year. Oh, good, the shizzy voices. As set forth in the objection, they started this on July 8th of 2025. Debtor scheduled a 50% interest in real property as exempted homestead on Schedule C. Docs 63, page 3. The real property identified as their address is within the municipality of Otter Creek and is listed at approximately 1.66 acres. Based on those facts, the objection asserts that the property is not legally exempt as a homestead. The trustee adopts those factual assertions and objects to the debtor's claim of homestead exemption to the extent the parcel exceeds the constitutional acreage limitation applicable to municipal homesteads. The trustee seeks disallowance. And see, here's the thing. If the fleas come in and try to say, well, that property is ours because we paid the taxes on it, good luck. It ain't going to happen because she's already claimed it under her schedules. And you would be really fucked to do that because they wouldn't allow it. Dumbasses. The trustee seeks disallowance of the exemption beyond the constitutionally protected portion with the only the extent permitted under Article 10, Section 4 of the Florida Constitution to be allowed and the balance to be administered for the benefit of the estate, which means that it will be foreclosed. Wherefore, the trustee respectfully requests that the court sustain the joinder, sustain the objection, disallow the debtor's claimed homestead exemption to the extent the parcel exceeds the constitutional size limitation for property within a municipality under Article 10, Section 4 of the Florida Constitution, and D, grant such other and further relief as is just and proper. Submitted this the 23rd day of March of 2026. But that's the beauty of this, is there are other bankruptcies. Oh, you wouldn't believe the bankruptcies that are coming out. Maybe I'll give you a little, I don't know, maybe if you're lucky, I'll give you just a little taste. Just a small taste of who might be having a bankruptcy. Who do you think is having another bankruptcy that's fucked themselves into a corner? Would you like to know? Shizzy reported that Megan showed a pew and it was not in line with terms of service. He thinks she will edit it and it will be up again. Yeah, she confirmed it was the pew that was shown. That's what it was. it had to do with the firearm. But thank you for coming in. Blake, I appreciate it. The 341 hearings for creditors in a bankruptcy. Oh, but there's another bankruptcy. Would you guys like to know what other bankruptcy we have? Are you curious? You curious what other bankruptcy we have? It's part of the anti-Hales ecosystem. Who do you think has filed a bankruptcy to avoid creditors? Who would do such a thing? I mean, there's nobody that I can think of that would ever do something like that. No. They can post it on Rumble for whoever wants to see the show. Yeah, it is on Rumble. Jack Miles, you have hit the jackpot. You are absolutely 50% correct. Jack Miles is 50% correct. Okay. And the reason I say he's 50% correct is because, as you will see right here, the debtor's name is Michelle or Chips. But did you notice that there's no joint case on this? So Lips didn't file in this bankruptcy. Like, he didn't include her, although she's included in name only. It makes you wonder. I mean, are they together? All their brave bravado. Jeremy can never break us apart. Did you also notice that Lips's YouTube channel just magically, just overnight, disappeared? What do you think caused that? Do you think that maybe they learned their lesson? Or do you think maybe, right, Michael? Or do you think maybe they're going to come back and say, oh, we were totally harassed, and so we took it down? Yet for the third, or is this the fourth time that you were harassed, that you claim that you were harassed? And what it was is, where did Lips go? The channel's gone. I mean, she's still got the Hodunk Hillbillies channel up, but the rest of it's gone. Oh, she'll be back. Yeah, give her a couple weeks. She'll be back. She'll be back saying, you guys came after me and my livelihood yet again, but I've made good with Jeremy. Again? Really? Made good with who? 50, 30, who knows? I'm going to go with, we were harassed, of course, when nobody was paying any attention to them. Well, and see, you've got certain schedules that have to be done in this, administrative orders, prescribed, and procedures before October 1st of 2025. And then you've also got notice of incomplete or deficient filing and opportunity to cure those deficiencies. Oh, well, you know what that means. Look for another obituary. I don't have any desire to look for another obituary 23rd time. I don't know. It's probably 69 times. They've gone so far that they're just reaching around and giving themselves instant gratification. Lips pops up more often than a bad case of herpes. I'm wondering if she flows in the cycle of herpes, because the herpes go away, they come back, they go away, they come back. I mean, you're still active, actively infecting, but, it's just one of those that just sort of comes back over and over. Got herpes from a friend who got herpes from a friend who got herpes. I haven't heard you been fucking around. So basically what the problem is they are represented by an attorney and they still haven't cured these deficiencies. Of course it's deficient considering the source. Yeah. Well, and they did not file this. They actually have an attorney in 3 different cases. So they have an attorney here that's handling their bankruptcy. They have another attorney that's turning in that information in 2 other cases. Yeah. And if you're wondering what other two cases those are, let me drop that down because that's the end of this one. If you're wondering what other two cases that are, you can just scroll all the way past all of this stuff down here and you can see the creditors. So they got Ackerman, LLP, AMX, Barclays, Banana Republic. Okay. Kane Wiener and Chase Card Services, DHN Attorneys. Oh, there it is right there. You got it. You got your little bit of Freddie Mac right there. And then let's see, who would be the other one? Oh, Seacoast would be another one of their creditors. Oh, so Seacoast and Freddie Mac. I guess they forgot about, ABC. They probably forgot about all the places that they actually sued where they're going to be needing money. Yeah, this is not Saran Wrap, Wolfgang. This is chips from the infamous Lips and Chips, where they love to like cook or something. Trident Management, Truist Bank. Oh, that's another one of their creditors. Truist Bank is also on there. Yeah. And the Windermere Downs Association, which would be their HOA, which is they're claiming as a creditor, but that while they're under, oh no, it's not just under one foreclosure. They're under two foreclosures. Two foreclosures with 4 different companies. Do you know why? Do you know why they're under those foreclosures? Let me give you a really brief on that one. The reason why their asses are under foreclosure under those is because what they did is they took out loans that they didn't pay back at all. They are also looking at a massive, and we're talking probably, all said and done, they're probably well over a few $1 million in the hole. Now, it's amazing to me that Lips was on bragging with these people. I'm a millionaire and I have so much money. You have no idea, but you're filing for bankruptcy. Because Michael is a shite attorney, because he's a little cuck. That's what it is. He basically bows down and lets dudes bang his wife while he watches. I mean, if that's your thing, hey, go for it, whatever. But it's because he has no testicular fortitude. That's the problem. Might say, think about this. It is, bankruptcy is something that you might have to go through, because of, for example, you get injured, your spouse isn't making enough money, you're not making ends meet, you're not able to keep up with your mortgage. All of those kinds of things could possibly happen. Bad things happen to good people. And that's why that bankruptcy is there, to try to secure those debts so that way you're not left destitute. But this is something that they've done to themselves. Herpes is a gift that just keeps on giving. Yeah, it does. I don't know anything about it. All I know is one of my friends was just like, dude, I found out that chick has like the hurt, and I'm staying away from that because I don't want to be, that's something that don't go away. There ain't no little shot that you can get rid of that. Lips is a genius, so she should know. Well, absolutely. She should know. Hey, she's a genius. She's a multimillionaire. She's worth millions, or her family's worth millions. The family that she totally shit on and sued. Yeah, she's a fucking brilliant one right there. He's definitely an example of demasculation of man, the whole woke plan. Yeah, whenever she was talking to him like that, I was like, dude. Dude, what the hell is going on? You're letting her talk to you like that? I mean, there's one thing whenever your wife is just like, bitching at you, and you're just like, yes, dear. But that wasn't bitching. That was telling him how he was going to think, how he was going to act, how he was going to dress, what he was going to look like, what he was supposed to say. Every single bit of his life is dictated by that twat waffle. Oh my God. Could you imagine being that bad off? Oh, brother, I don't feel for you because you married crazy. Hey, you married crazy. That's what you're stuck with. You know, until either she divorces you or does something much, much worse, which from what I've heard is there was suspicion that she tried much, much worse. And so much so that his family came to visit because she forced a cutoff of all communication. What maybe Michael, I'm wondering, did she contact the attorneys for this bankruptcy, or did you? Because I mean, she's been really, really good about, you know, signing your name to a whole bunch of shit, gets you fucked up. If I'm not mistaken, did you get your driver's license suspended for running a whole bunch of traffic signals? Either you're that shitty of a driver, or you let somebody else drive your car that wasn't supposed to be, and they just said, the law doesn't apply to me because I'm a lawyer, I'm smart. I mean, yeah, you were hospitalized when they were doing fundraising, so I don't have them, but we know some people that do, and all they need to do is one good copy of each video. Yeah. Lips's game playing, Trog, who thinks that she has palladium between her thighs. Nope. Yeah. Trog the type. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. No, there's not going to be a good outcome to this for them. I mean, you know, the best that they can hope for is whenever that mortgage comes due, they're going to try to claim homestead. But it's our house. You can't take away our house. Yeah, they will own every single bit of you for here on out. And if you think that you can get away with it by this, oh yeah, I guess you'll find out the hard way. You'll find out the hard way. See, this is a situation that these assholes have put themselves into. You know, I understand, you know, you might get sick. Family member of yours might get sick. They have to go to the hospital, and you have to take out loans that you didn't want to take out. Those kind of bad things happen. But it looks to me like this was completely unavoidable. For example, they could have not been doing such shady shit. You know, the scam runs out whenever it's found out that you're putting yourself out there as an attorney, whenever you're not an attorney. Whenever you're running and hosting and got these little websites that say trust the best, or whatever little slogan you might be running for the day, and it's found. You know, I think people have found all those websites too. And do you think those might have been turned over to authorities? You know, all the little websites that are hidden behind other little websites that are still there, that if you pull them up, you can say, that'd be quite interesting if the Florida State Bar found out that a permanently retired attorney was still putting themselves out there as an actual attorney and part of a law firm that might be under sanctions right now in another lawsuit. Oh, and then have somebody come and write a hit piece on it. The hit piece was quite interesting, if I must say, considering, you know, they're accusing somebody of doing really bad stuff in a nice little, what do you call that? A guardianship. Yeah, they were running a guardianship scan. And that's why the judge in that guardianship scam wrote a 50-page document that basically said this filing is a bunch of bullshit. It's a shotgun pleading, and you've been given 2 opportunities to fix it, and I'm not wasting my time on the 4th. Yeah, we're not doing this no more because you apparently don't know the law or do not know how to plead it. Yeah, you wanted to call it a RICO. I bet that guy looks like a total dumbass now, doesn't he? Saying, yeah, I wrote this article, a total hit piece, and oh yeah, it was stupid. because apparently it was bullshit. It was a bullshit article. Oh yeah, we've got all kinds of stuff on lips and chips. I mean, you know, if you want to get started on their crazy, we'll claim she's ADA protected. Hold on just a second. I have something for that. Here, let me close my camera. Give me just a second. I'll grab it. Oh yeah. You know, we have something. And you can find this. This is a one of an only, so you're not going to find it there. But we have a one and only. You see that right there? Protected from ADA. Another dumbass. Yeah. And these cups you can find on my shop. I have them in different colors. Protected from ADA. This is and see, it was a mistake on this right here. Everything was sort of off-centered and everything. So there were other ones can also be found on my shop page. So you can get, you know, protected from ADA, another dumbass, because that's what you need to be, is protected from another dumbass. ADA protected. Worked with professors whom held so many doctorates and diplomas, but were still stupid. Couldn't tie their damn shoes. Book smarts does not equate common sense. Yes. Yes. But of course, you know, I'm just, like I said, I'm just a low level YouTuber. I'm a moron that, you know, turns on the microphone and the camera almost every day. Not every day, but I have no problem with it. God damn, Shizzy. Close the door during bio breaks. What? I just got up and grabbed a coffee cup. That's it. Da 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 da. Close the door. Man, I haven't drank anything tonight yet. Maybe I will start drinking early tonight. I don't know. Oh, did you wash your hands? I grabbed a damn coffee cup. What the hell? No, there's nothing in the coffee cup. Empty. Well, correct. I have lectured to a few. Jeremy is ATT protected. Oh, so yeah, I think I will pull this up for you guys because, well, you know, it bears relevance. It bears big relevance. And extra large, huge, ginormous relevance. Oh, because this made me laugh. Oh my God, it made me so happy to see this. It made me so happy to see this. Whenever I see these kinds of things, I tend to get such a chuckle out of it. Yeah, here we go. Let's see if I can pull this up for you guys. There's a sad coffee mug if it isn't full. Shizzy likes the short bus and Velcro shoes. Sucker. All right, let's share this with you because it was quite funny. Whenever I saw this, I laughed. I laughed so hard. I laughed so hard. In trying to debunk me, they made it even worse. Okay. In trying to debunk me, they made it so much worse than it needed to be. Yo, shizzy dumb nuts! You want to debunk? Let's play. No private investigator, no property appraiser, no government official of any kind went to Preston's property. She likes to lube her town once and twice, and the fake memorial, you moron! Just like no trustee council asked Hales for drone footage or other images of Preston's property, they do not care about Hales. Just like a pathetic, short line of people about Deborah, Michelle, or me around tomorrow 11 a.m. No bankruptcy court is asking about his financials or mine. Tomorrow's a continued creditors meeting, that's all. Anyone who believes the bullshit you all spew are a bunch of idiots. Shit. Meh. This is the same vehicle, jackass. Right here. See the vehicle? It's the same vehicle. Leaving from Looptown, driving to Fake Memorial. Fake Memorial. But we couldn't let that go. No. No, Shizzy doesn't let things like this go. Well, what Shizzy does is Shizzy likes to respond. Shizzy responds in some of the most polite manners that he can possibly gather. And he says, well, you know, there's a way to handle this. Probably the most decent way that, you know, Shizzy knows how, because as Shizzy does, you know, because they would never email me because, well, that would just, you know, they wouldn't want to get owned in an email that I would read online, obviously. So what we did is we filed a nice little response here on YouTube, because, you know, if that's the route that we're playing, where you post things on YouTube unanimously and hoping that somebody will see it. The only reason I saw it is because somebody else told me about it. Other than that, I don't give two shits, but I thought it was pretty damn funny. So I responded, and my response, I hope, is quite satisfactory. It says, "Oh, mutton flop, bless your failing, overblown heart. If you're going to act like a full-blown twat waffle, at least have the decency to show the whole video instead of clipping it to hell and lying through that gap in your teeth. But that's pretty standard behavior for a complete fucktard who thinks editing is a substitute for honesty." And if you're wondering, I do have the pictures. Those pictures. You want to see the pictures? Let's bring up the pictures. How about we bring up the pictures? Oh, yes. Let's do that. See, because I have all of the pictures, but we'll put those on another screen because, well, I suck at this. Yeah, I'm really bad at not showing the pictures like I should. So why don't we just show the pictures? Mutton flop, twat waffle. Yes. And it only needed to be short and sweet, like me. Short and sweet. Don't you agree? Come on. Come on. Short and sweet. You did not get the joke? Okay. Shizzy would make a reply back public. Fleesa, who wouldn't like to be criticized. Yeah, she doesn't like being criticized. It breaks her little fifis into, you know, at least 4 parts. Sugar. And let's see if why is it not opening image in new tab? Why is it not working? Damn it. Oh. Well, it's because they're full size. Yeah. Let's see. I'll have to go in and edit that because I suck at, you know. See, this is how good I am at YouTube, that you know, I don't spend all my time on here. I have other people do this kind of stuff for me. You know, whenever I'm sitting there going, oh, edit this picture because I suck at it. It's true, I really do suck at a lot of stuff. That's one of my well-meaning traits that I'm trying to fix in 2026 is not suck so much. I'll get there eventually. Eventually, I'll get there. We'll have to see. That's very cool. I just saw a chair I want to get. Mine's starting to wear out. My ass is getting old. It doesn't like me anymore. It says, nope, we're going to be a pain in the ass. Okay, so here we go. I'll show you guys. So you can see the full screen of this. All right, share the screen. Damn it. Nope, that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to share my damn screen. Why is it not working? All right, here we go. All right, here we go. So here is that car that they're showing. And I showed this and I circled things. Sorry, Shizzy, I don't know about the images. So we got this little thing right here. And as you'll see, this little wheel right here is metal. It's not a shadow. You can see the hubcap right there, the little hubcap. And then you can see the little car pull in. You can see very clearly on the back side of it here. And I'll draw on the picture for you so you can see. That's clearly the headlights set here. That's very clear that there's no chrome on this whatsoever. And we'll go back to the other picture so you can understand what I'm pointing at here. This little picture right here, you can see there's clearly a hubcap here. This is clearly black, and you can clearly see that it's inset. It has nothing to do with the shadow on the car. You can see that is a black fucking rim. As you can see, there is no chrome on this car whatsoever. As you can see, there's no chrome on this car here whatsoever. And then you go to this little picture right here, and this is the little reflection right here that they wanted to say was something on the side of the car. Okay. You can also clearly see right here that there is no chrome back here on the back part of the car whatsoever. You can tell that the car is also a different make and model. If you weren't, a complete fucking moron, you'd be able to see that also. And then, of course, as you can see, as this truck drives by, you can see that it's picking up a reflection, probably from this shit over here, or possibly here, or wherever it's picking a reflection off of. And you can see as the truck drives by, there is nothing on the side of the goddamn car. It is merely a reflection. It is clearly a black car. And then, of course, you can see this car right here. And oh my fucking God. You can obviously see, as you see that it's drawn out right here, that those right there are seriously silver hubcaps. Those are not, it has nothing to do with shadows. You can clearly see that is chrome right there. You can see where the logo is on the vehicle. I mean, I can draw every little bit of this shit. You've got chrome little latches right there. You've got chrome hubcaps. You've got chrome right here. You can see that the logo is chrome and sits right above it right there. You can see the placement of the actual license plate and where the headlights protrude out from the vehicle itself. There's so many things that I could point out about this. You can look at the design of the back windshield right here, and you can see that little design right there, how it has that shape. You can see that it goes into that little format right there. And if we go back, because, I have to debunk these morons on a regular fucking basis, let's look at the fucking car right there. Oh, look, there's no fucking chrome on it whatsoever. There's no chrome handle. Right here would be a chrome handle on the door. No fucking chrome. Shadows don't take away the color of chrome. You can clearly see that there is no chrome bumper right there. You can also clearly see that there is still no chrome on the side of the fucking car. It has nothing to do with shadows, because if it had anything to do with shadows, you would realize that the light hitting the license plate right here would also be causing it to reflect off the top of the chrome if it was on the back of the bumper, which it's not, because this bumper is a completely different, what do they call that in Europe? A boot. And as you can clearly see, this one is completely different. It's a little hard to tell on the design of this, so I can't really draw it out. But I'm sure that if I went back and pull up the whole fucking video, we could point out even more shit that's absolutely fucking wrong with it. The man drives a Corolla, Amy gets a car, is Dodge Charger. The man drives a Corolla, get a car is thinks he's driving a Dodge Charger. No, actually, I think this is more of a BMW. It looks like a BMW like 3 Series, possibly. I mean, I don't know specifically. But the taillights are in. Taillights aren't the same. Absolutely. These are blacked out rims. So do I need to continue debunking this people all the fuck over again? George's car all over again. Yeah. Well, but I'm happy to do this because, you know, it's so easy. Let's pull up the two vehicles. We'll do this again. We will pull up the actual, you know, her little bullshit post where she's like, it's obviously the same car. Well, let's see if it's obviously the same fucking car. How about we do that? Well, why don't we do that? We'll pull up her same fucking car bullshit, because that is always so glorious when, you know, especially whenever they want to be, you know, a bunch of dumb fucks and post this stuff right here. Let's do it. Oh yeah, we got 1, 2, 3 cars, and then it drives down a little bit further and then pulls back. Let's see. Why don't we do this? Oh, of course. Oh, they have more pictures. It's so glorious. Let's see what we got here. Oh, let's see. Obviously the same car, obviously the same car, obviously the same car. Yeah, okay. So you show a car driving down. Obviously the same car. All right, let's show you obviously the same, not fucking car that you were talking about. How's that? Let's do that because we are assholes like this. Share media. Where is it? Oh. And it'll just be easier, I guess, if I just show my whole fucking screen, because then I can put them right next to each other so I can show that they're obviously fucking wrong. Give me a second, because I'm a smartass and I like to be a smartass all the time. And let's see what we got. Oh, why is it being a pain? Why is my media player being an absolute pain in the ass? Hate it. Oh, been with me. Was there an update with the media player or something that I don't know about? Let's open it with something else. Open with... we'll just use legacy media player. Yeah, there we go. Now that'll play. All right, let's see how obviously it is the same car, as she likes to say. And I'll just share my whole screen because that's going to be easier to do. And pull that over here so that way we can really show you guys what the same media looks like, the same vehicle, because it's obviously the same vehicle. Entire screen. All right, here we go. We got the entire screen. No, that's not going to work. We do this. Why is it doing it? What in the hell? What in the hell? I'm having problems here. Let's see. We're going to close that. There we go. All right. This will be much easier. We'll just share the whole screen right here. All right. So we're sharing our whole screen. Let's pull this thing back up right here so you can see we got the whole screen right here. Pause. So we'll go back, and here's the beginning of the video. See, there's the vehicle. And of course you can obviously see, yes, this is the same vehicle right here, but is it the same vehicle as this one right here? As we pull up on it, let's see. Well, here it comes, and oh, that's not it. So we got that vehicle, this one right here, and let's see. Is it the same vehicle? We're about to find out. We got a side-by-side action right here. It's just like her cankles, side by side, rubbing against each other. Sort of like that cricket whenever it was saying, let me free, let me free. Clark Stark, you need a better disguise. Need a totally better disguise. I mean, even the bird was recognizing, oh, well, let's see. Does that look like the same vehicle right there? Let's see. Got blacked out taillights. Doesn't look the same right there, does it? I mean, I know the lighting's a little bit different. The shadows aren't that far off that, wow, the chrome bumpers aren't, the chrome isn't even showing anything. Well, look, maybe this next picture right here. Oh, yeah, this one is in full light. Let's see. As he's driving off, it's in full light. Well, let's see. About the same position. Somewhere about right here. Let's see. Oh my God. Does it look like the same vehicle right there? Huh. Let's look. Here, why don't we open it up just a little bit bigger? Maybe bigging it a little bit right there. What does it look like? Does that look like the same vehicle? Oh, wait. You know what is missing over here? Oh, all the chrome. And look, even the hubcaps are missing. Well, let's back it up a little bit because, we gotta see, don't want to be completely wrong here. Why the hell is this doing this? All right, well, see, it's driving off, and oh wow, that chrome is really shining. Let's see, does this one have any chrome on it? I'm looking for the chrome. I mean, there's a car down there. You can't really tell from the distance. Backs up to park at fake memorial. What's a fake memorial? Oh, your fake memorial. That's right. It went to park at your fake memorial. And it looked and it probably saw that giant hand sitting there. And it just gave it a little rub and said, this is Tug's finger. Gave a little pet to the Megan Fox over there. Pulls up and parks at the fake memorial. No, actually he was looking at it for the fake memorial, but it doesn't exist. The shadows. Oh, the shadows. Oh, so shadows. Let's see. Shadows. The shadow would be showing that there's no silver hubcaps on this. Amazing how that works, isn't it? Let's look again. We can just hit play here, and we'll be able to grab it and back it up. Hopefully, if it allows me to. It doesn't because it sucks. Big balls. All right, we'll just open it up again. That's what we'll do. We'll just open it all up again, and we'll see. We'll see if we actually have that particular one right there. Let's pull that thing up. And of course, it doesn't want to play for me yet again. There it is. Maybe not. I don't know. What the hell? Don't you love it whenever you hit the wrong damn button? Oh, chat, you're loving it. Media player did one update. Yeah, that's why it's acting so funky. Sorry about that, everybody. He kicked himself off. Yes, I absolutely kicked myself off. I told you I was a fool. Gaslighted attempt at its finest. Shizzy fell down. Shizzy didn't fall down. Yeah. So that's the problem with these fools, is they want to sit there and try to disprove something that it is really easy to prove that they're absolutely full of shit. Of course, that's what you get whenever you stuff your face with chicken skins all day long, and you realize that they don't vet any of their shit. They have other people doing it for them. This is the problem. If you ever listen to one of their streams, I have to laugh. Okay, if you ever listen to one of their streams, if you're so unfortunate to, you can clearly hear that they don't want, according to them, they don't watch anything. It's all on speculation of what somebody else says. They have their little group of, you know, fucktards, you know, whatever they want to call themselves. I think it's ass warriors or butt pirates or something like that. I'm not sure. Maybe I'm not positive what their little group is called. You know, it might be like the group of, you know, idiots that you know, clown car. I don't know. I'm not quite sure. Maybe if the flea rubs some chicken fat all over her fat ass, she can finally squeeze her foulness into the frame of a camera and tell us what, to all our faces, how stupid we are. She's too scared. Yeah, she's chicken shit. Well, you know, that's what happens whenever you're stuffing your face with chicken skins and cigarettes and, you know, rump rangers. That might be it. Rump rangers. That could be it, you know. Lisa's pissed. She's so pissed. She's wrong again. Well, yeah, no, she was trying to make a story that was totally untrue. And I don't know anything about the other stuff that she's trying to claim. Well, Jeremy claims this, Jeremy claims that. And I can tell you right now that I don't care what Jeremy claims. He can claim that the fucking sky is blue whenever it's dark outside. He'd probably be correct. You just can't tell that it's blue. It's blue somewhere. Too much snow floating around those people. Possibly. But whenever they're sitting there going, you don't know what you're talking about. I'm like, you're showing a fucking video on your stream trying to say, look, this guy did this. This guy did this. And you didn't show the whole video. The video that I have a clip of is the same video that you were showing. This car driving and look, he turned in down there to Jeremy's property. Yes, I have the video already. And it is you talking about this particular vehicle of this guy that pulls up there driving onto Jeremy's property. It was a totally different vehicle that drove onto Jeremy's property. Yeah, somebody might have came down, they looked at Tubetown, they looked at the memorial to memorialize the memorial that never will exist because you're incapable of raising enough, well, you know, to support not only your horrible drug habits, but, you know, also, you know, possibly, you know, there were people that were sort of like, hey, that would be a really nice thing to do. Of course, it'd be a really nice thing to do if you'd ever do something, but you don't. That's the problem. You are too stupid. You are too stupid to actually realize that everybody that is watching you, it was fine whenever you were running a grift off of like 10, 12 people. But see, now that you've got a few hundred, and I would say a few thousand, but you only have a few hundred. Now, whenever you're running a grift and you get people that are throwing, you know, a few $100,000 at you, all of a sudden you're panicking because you're like, you've never seen this much money in your fucking life. In one bunch like that, coming into your bank account, you're like, holy shit, how do we do this again? Well, let's see. We'll run another one for next year. Except you got busted because Lynette was just like, listen, you said you were going to, you know, help me build my shit up over here, but you never did. You just left me fucking hanging high and dry. So why don't you just go ahead and show up to that creditors hearing tomorrow? Why don't you show up there and become a creditor? I think that's a beautiful fucking idea. I can't wait to see how that works out because I can't wait to see how you try to explain away $100,000. I can't wait to see it, Lisa, because let's see. Multiple times you said, oh, I don't smoke. And then whenever you're called out on it, you clearly smoke. Oh, I don't do drugs. Whenever you're called out on it, you clearly do drugs. Oh, I'm not fat. And when you get called out on it, you're clearly fat. When I have all my teeth, when you get called out on it, oh, I don't have my teeth. See, you know, whenever people start actually calling you out on your bullshit, Then all of a sudden it's just like, okay, well, you lie about everything. You are habitual. So whenever you're sitting there trying to, whenever you're telling people that you're raising money for one thing, that you're clearly not raising money for one thing. Whenever you're clearly putting up a goddamn fence and you're paying your fucking sorry ass husband to do the goddamn work, and then throwing a little bit of bones at other people that might be doing the work, and then trying to say, well, we have to pay for the fucking labor, because that's probably what you're going to end up saying. Why there's such a discrepancy on this money. Whenever you're sitting there paying her attorney's fees, whenever you're doing all this other bullshit with her fucking money that was supposed to be done for something else, whenever you're saying, hey, let's raise all this money because we're going to be helping Lynette, this attorney's going to come in and he's going to help her with her bankruptcy case. He's going to help with Fed 1. He's going to help with Fed 2. He's going to help with the thumbnail case, and he's going to get all this shit straightened out. And the whole time you're doing a fucking bankruptcy. And that's what your help is? To get her bent over a barrel and fucking reamed in the ass like a prostitute on the 4th of July? Come on. What the hell is wrong with you people? You screwed her over so fucking bad. You've taken her money and just left her hung out to dry like a wet noodle. Oh my fucking God. I'm sorry. You excuse the language, but you have screwed that woman over worse than Jeremy ever. If you're sitting there thinking, oh, Jeremy's this horrible person, he got a restraining order against her. You want to know who's really done harm to her besides herself? You want to really know who's done harm to her? Just go look at the whole fucking anti-Hales ecosystem. Those are the people that have done the most fucking harm to her and that child. They have trash talked her to shit, got her hooked into a goddamn bankruptcy. And why do you think they're doing it? Because it sure as hell ain't because they give two shits about her. It's for clicks and views. The whole thing that they've been saying Jeremy's doing his lawsuit for, why do you think that they go on every fucking chance they get and sit there and say, it's all for clicks and views? No, everything that Bruce did was for clicks and views. He's got he's having people come over to your goddamn channel. He is contacting Lynette saying, you got to give them something so they have something to talk about because their channel is tanking. Whenever you've got people telling other people, go and support them because their channel is going to shit. Why do you think their channel's going to shit? Because you've fucked every single person that you've come into contact over. You don't want to see your channel go to shit? Stop fucking people over. Good God, woman. You and your fucking nasty ass, goddamn gross ass fucking felon husband are sitting there screwing shit up left and right. I mean, he probably can't keep his fucking nose out of the goddamn nose candy. He sure as hell can't keep it out of the fucking bong. Oh, he has a medical marijuana card. Yeah, they can take those things away from you, and you're not supposed to be driving whenever you're fucking stoned, you dumbasses. I mean, how many times have we watched the videos on these idiots, that are out there fucking driving stoned, get pulled over by a cop, and they're just like, when was the last time you smoked? Oh, it was like 20 minutes ago. Well, yeah, you're going to fucking jail because it's still a goddamn DUI. How many times is that going to happen to him? How many times do you think he's going to get a DUI before you just like, hey, maybe you should stop doing drugs while you're driving? Or maybe he'll end up hitting some little fucking kid down the street. Well, that's right. The village just doesn't have any kids because they don't like having any kids around there. Maybe that's why Topher ran away, because, he had to get the fuck away from you crazy ass fucking people. Maybe that was Topher in the video. He was down there video and said, hey, Lynette, why don't you let me in? I hear that you got like a place that I can stay. It might be a small house, but I can stay there. I know there's not any hot and cold running water, but I hear you got a bathroom. It might be a blue bucket, but it has a lid on it. I mean, What the fuck is wrong with these people? You're sitting there, you're wanting to say, like, oh, Shizzy's a washed up musician. Goddamn right, I'm a proud, washed up fucking musician. I'm an old, cantankerous son of a bitch. I can't play fucking anymore like I used to because, well, let's see. I grew old. I got arthritis. I never made it big in the music industry, but I'll tell you what, I did have a pretty goddamn good time. I made some really good friends along the way. You can't say the same, can you? Like all the people that you're supposedly friends with, all your little celebrities, they wouldn't want to fucking come on your show. I could reach out to any one of my friends and they'd be like, hell yeah, anytime, man. I'd be glad to come on. Just as long as we're not talking about that shit right there. Hell, you want some celebrities? Hell, why don't we contact Sugarline Blue? Here's the thing. I could reach out right now, and have Sugarline Blue on here if I wanted to. I could just reach out and say, hey, Wolfgang, they interested in coming on? They'd be like, well, if they're awake, they'd probably say, yeah, sure. See that's making good, meaningful connections, is talking with people that actually, care about you, care about the kind of shit that you do. Your friends are fly by night. Let's see what you can do for me. They're not true friends. You can tell by the way that they treat their guests, how shitty of a people they are, because they treat their guests like absolute garbage. Like they're just meaningless pieces of meat. You've seen it time and time again. Well, you remember whenever they started going into their little guardianship thing? Oh, I think we're gonna do some guardianship stuff again because, we're so like on top of this. Those people probably found out the kind of pieces of shit you were, and were just like, oh fuck no. Oh, or maybe it was because you were trying to get those people on there because, you want to get custody of a child. What is it with you guys' fetishes and these little fucking kids? I don't know, man. There's something strange about it. Is it because you couldn't have any of your own? I guess it's hard to, whenever you have that sex change, it's hard to get the kids of your own, it's just, or is it because, it's hard to conceive whenever you got the herb? I don't know. You tell me. It could be any number of those things. Could be, AIDS was pretty rampant in the 80s. Weren't you saying that you were all over the place in the 80s? You were just like, oh, you were on top of the thing? Except it'd be really interesting because you only would have been in your teens at that point in time. Not even 21. You were hanging out in clubs. Yeah, isn't that right, Felisa? Yeah, you were big time in what was it, New Jersey or some shit like that? Saying that you were, I was bucking bands and I was so on top of this shit. Yeah, okay, sure. How old were you? Because that would have put you about 17, which means that you weren't in school. Or did you? Oh, that's right. You're so smart. You graduated early. That's right. Or did you drop out, get your GED? I mean, I'm curious because, you keep talking all this shit like you're something, but then whenever you get called out on it, you back off like a little scared little bitch that you are, like your husband. He's a scared little bitch too. Paint chips. Yeah. Scared little bitch. You guys are just a bunch of scared little bitches. You can't fucking handle whenever people call you out on your bullshit. And you're going to sit there and tell me that I'm debunked. I'm just pointing out your fuck ups. So have fun. Have a wonderful fucking time with it. If you really want my attention, go ahead. Go ahead, keep up your shit. I'll show you attention. Ask Bubbles how that fucking worked out for him. Ask Bubbles how that attention worked out for him. Huh? Oh, that's right. You can't, because he probably doesn't want to talk to your sorry asses anymore because he realized that everybody's laughing at you for being so fucking stupid. Quick question. You're still punk miss vibes for non-blondes? Because that's a far reach of dishonesty. Yeah, she wanted to talk some shit like she's I've been whatever. Yeah, and what about you, Dodgy Robbie? Yeah. So you were like what, big with CC DeVille? Yeah, big fucking deal. Yeah, I met CC. Yeah, walking down fucking Hollywood Boulevard with big fucking chewing his goddamn mouth, talking like a fucking redneck. Yeah, I remember meeting CC. I understood why he wore all that fucking makeup too, because you know that shit be wrecked as fuck. Yeah, I met CC. Whoopee, big fucking deal. I knew people that were working with Duff Keegan also as part of their group. Basically, they would put little groups together and they would say, hey, you know, I'm going to try to help you guys out. I remember, you know, a guy that I worked with out in California got a job as a bass player playing for a band that Wes Arkeen was starting up. And guess how that turned out for him? He ended up fucking hooked on goddamn heroin. The whole band never even fucking released an album. Yes. Okay, big fucking deal. You met a few people that, you know, put their pants on the same goddamn way that everybody else does. But you're all hot shit. You got this idea. Oh, CC DeVille. Oh, fuck CC. What is he doing these days, huh? Oh, is he? Yeah, he's got a lot of money, but that didn't help you none, did it? Sorry. I mean, I worked with a ton of different musicians. That doesn't mean that I was a different musician and made a ton of money off of it. Big whoop. You fucking pieces of shit. I'm sorry. I'm just rambling now because I find it absolutely goddamn comical that these people want to sit there and they want to talk about how fucking great and grandiose they are. And they don't know fucking great and grand, because if you were that fucking great and grandiose, you wouldn't be sitting in your goddamn garage talking on the fucking YouTubes about shit that you don't know anything about. you would actually read the goddamn documents and go, oh, well, that's an interesting aspect, and disagree with the goddamn interesting aspect. But you can't even fucking do that because you don't even know what the fuck you're reading half the time. Your problem is you've got a boner to destroy Jeremy Hales. You got a boner to go after Travis. You got a boner to go after anybody that you deem not part of your little cool fucking club. Yeah, I rented people like you in fucking high school. A bunch of little twat waffles is what you were. Even CC thinks fishing gators is a little awkward. Yeah, CC's got some issues of his own. And I mean, CC, I'm sure, is probably a good fucking guy. I really don't have any issues with CC. He's done a lot, but you're toting that around like that's some fucking badge of honor. I mean, that's like these chicks that I run into in California that were just like I slept with Axl Rose. It's just like, oh, fucking great. Have a good life. I don't really want to be anywhere near you. Like, that's their fucking claim to fame, is they slept with some fucking musician. Really? Okay. I'm not impressed by it. I'm not impressed by it. Well, you know, why don't you tell me that, you know, you remained, you've met all these people, but you've remained not fucking a single one of them, because that you hold yourself to a higher standard. I guess that would just be too much for you. But yeah, I know the type of chick that Fleece is, because I met a million of those out in California. They're a dime a dozen. They step off the bus with these big, you know, look in their eyes, and next thing you know, they're getting trains pulled on them in the fucking apartment by, you know, 8 different band members. Yeah, I've seen these kinds of chicks before. You know, and they're just like, oh, but you know, he looked just like, you know, Sebastian Bach. I mean, he had the same hair. Yeah, except Sebastian's really fucking tall, and this guy's only 5'2". and you let his whole band like bang you too. These are the kind of chicks that I ran into in California, because they would get stars in their eyes and they would think that, oh, I'm living the best of my life. Yeah, you just turned 18 and you stepped off the bus. Well, you know, why don't you ever listen to that song, Welcome to the Jungle? It explains quite a bit about the kind of women that you're running into. And I mean, you know, I sit there and I laugh about it because luckily, whenever I got out to California, I was hooked up with a band already touring, and I was just like, you've got to be kidding me that these people are this stupid. It's just like they get stars in their eyes. It's like I've been invited to come like rail on some chick. I'm like, that's just not my fucking deal. I'm just not into that shit, and walk away from it. Because I'm just like, man, I feel bad for these girls. Because what are they going to tell themselves whenever they're, you know, 40, 50 years old? Well, you'll find out what they tell you, what they'll tell themselves. The same kind of shit that the Flea is telling herself, that she was all into the fucking bands and shit like that. No, she was all on her fucking hands and knees for the bands is what she was doing. And she was like, I'll do something for you. You do something for me. Make me look good, because I am not attractive whatsoever, but you got to make me look good. There were girls that would hang out with bands like that. All the guys would laugh about them. Yeah, that's exactly what they would do. They would look at them and go, yeah, I mean, she puts out for anybody, so what's the point? Turns a booth into a candle. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just rambling like a piece of shit. Probably should be a little bit nicer to the Flea. You know, she does have feelings too. They're buried deep down inside, underneath, you know, tons of fat, but she does have feelings. It'd be funny if someone would ask CC about Gator Boy. I think CC would be like, who in the hell is that? Oh no, I think CC knows him. I think they probably talk on a regular basis too. I mean, you know, maybe once a month or once a year. I mean, you know, here's the thing. I can reach out to a few different musicians, but I just don't bother because they've got their own damn life. I mean, they're not part of my life, and I wouldn't be doing anything for them, and they're not doing anything for me. I mean, that's the thing about it. I mean, it's think about some of your good friends. How often do you talk to them? Not like your best friends. Fuck her feelings. No, I don't think there's any part of her that needs to be fucked. I mean, you can probably ask, you know, his wife, you know, how many times he has to roll around in flour to find a wet spot. I mean, that's what I'm thinking. Just saying. Turns a shoe into a sandal. I don't know. I mean, sure, I could reach out to musicians. I mean, I talked to my old band not too long ago. I was just like, yeah, these fuckers are acting like assholes. So don't be surprised whenever they come looking for you guys and want to find out information. You're like, well, we don't really know much about you. Like those are people that I toured with for like what, 10 years, 7, 8, 10. I don't know. I forget. Time's but a social construct. Those guys that I toured with. It's like, I always, you know, anytime I talk to them, which might be like once a year, wish them a happy birthday, you know, ask about how their kids are doing. Like that's what friends do, you know. I don't think she probably even knows their spouses, you know, names. I could name some musician spouses by the first name, and they would know me personally. But, you know, let's stroke our fucking ego right there. Like how great we are. Oh yeah, I know some musicians. I'm so special. Yeah, special. I'm special. I'm special. So very special. Polly P gets the heat. You thinking you can beat me? I disagree. Only Polly P gets the heat. New loon. I like that. New loon. You think you can beat me? I disagree. Polly P gets the heat. You guys are awesome. Thank you guys so much for hanging out tonight, listening to me rant and rave about absolute bullshit, because, well, that's what I do. You got a brand new heater? I keep it in the freezer. I love that. I love that. Gotta have a little bit of fun. There's got to be a little bit of enjoyment in the world, and I'm here to try to bring some of it to you. And of course, you know, we will find out more about what happens tomorrow after it happens tomorrow, because I wouldn't be able to predict anything that's going to happen in this crazy space. It sounds like there's going to be a hearing tomorrow. Lynette is supposed to show up. Whether she shows up or not, I don't know. Because, well, trying to predict her has been like trying to predict, you know, which way this shit is going to hit the wall whenever you throw it in the fan. And they're pretty used to throwing shit at the wall, and, well, it hits the fan before it hits the wall, of course, and usually it goes 9 ways to Sunday. But I do know that we've got some wonderful music out there. I've got one scheduled to come out on March 26th. So 2 more days, you're going to get a nice new video. And then I wanted to see if I even got Snowing in Florida up there. I still don't have that, but I do have something for you guys, because it is, I just love playing it. And then I'm going to send you guys over to go see the beautiful, wonderful MG Law tonight, because it looks like he's going, or we'll see if he's going, if Camelot is going, because I know Camelot came by earlier. And I got to return the favor, show the bands a little bit of love. He says OnlyFans is banned, and I will probably join MG over there. No, actually I won't, because it's 12:30, and let's see what we've got here. See, Camelot is live. Let me look and see what we've got, because sometimes this thing doesn't work properly. Let's see what MG's got going on today. It looks like he is watching some court cases, and let's see what Camelot's got going on, because Camelot sometimes has some good going on. Yeah, he's cranking it out there, and let's see what we got. What did we got here? MG. She's got about the same amount of people watching, so you got your choice. You can go see MG, which I will not be joining him tonight. I'm going to be too exhausted and tired. And then I'm going to be saying that MG's waxing stream was great. I bet it was. Not him, just saying. I'll be banned soon, probably. Hey, Shizzy, I met one of your friends in AC? I don't know where AC is. One of my friends in AC. I don't know what that means. AC. If you're saying Atlanta, then cool. I'm sure you probably could. Not him. He said he had so many good. He had said so many good things about you. Okay, I hope so. I don't know. I don't know what AC is, though. It could be. I mean, I'm trying to think. That's what AC. AC. No. I'm trying to think if there's somebody's initials that I know by AC. Maybe. Thank you, Shizzy. Bah. Never cared to seen a celebrity or a musician. They just remember seeing Coolio in Walmart, a bunch of big guys in tracksuits. I noticed him before anyone realized. I nodded and kept on. Yeah. Oh, Atlantic City? Never been to Atlantic City, Karen. Yeah. I've never been to Atlantic City. Now, there might be some friends that I know that in Atlantic City. New Jersey? Yeah, never been there. Can't think no, I've never been to Atlantic City. But that's neither here nor there. I can tell you, I have never been to Atlantic City. that I can remember. I've been to New York, but I don't think I've been to Atlantic City. I don't think I went to New Jersey either. That's a possibility. Yeah. I don't think I know anybody there. Pretty positive that you got me on that one. They know me, but I don't know them, which I guess is a good thing, because if they did know me, they would know that I'm probably half fucking crazy anyway. You can't find one when you're always the best player in Tone Gym. In Tone Gym. Don't know what that means. Sounds like the making of an alibi. Alibi. Alternative current. Oh, yeah. AC, like AC and DC. Yeah. Alternate current. Alternating current. Yeah. I mean, I was a welder, so that would make sense. But then you would have been saying AC to DC conversion, because that's what you're trying to do whenever you're using alternating current to get to direct current, because direct current is going to give you a much more solid. You don't want to have alternating current whenever you're welding, because you don't want to have it vibrating back and forth like that. You want to have it as a direct current, because then it's only going one direction. Misspelt that one. So yeah, something like that. Anyhow, you guys have a beautiful night, and I will see you guys on the flip side, most definitely tomorrow. Peace, peace, peace.
Breaking news or whatever. They're on another one. Gang, gang. Gang, gang. Yeah. Gang, gang, emergency Zoom film at 11. Same 5 goons, same deranged obsession. This changes everything. Bro, it's page 47 of emotion they skin while half watching Yellowstone. Gang, gang. Squinting at 8 point, found like detectives. Zoom so far and the pixels are screaming for mercy. Look at this, timestamp 2020, 22, my God. But they're yelling it like they just cracked Watergate. High five. Mike's been muted for 20 minutes, still barking. Circular logic, so a lot of time to seem impressive. Trust the plan, this is massive. Nah, fam, it's boilerplate and it's mid at best.
Gang, gang. Self-appointed outrage squad patting each other like they personally ended corruption. Gang. Dropping bombshell tea that's been sitting in pieces since breakfast. Gang, gang. Moral high ground speed run, they'll flip the script the second it's convenient. Gang.
Same PowerPoint presentation, new day, same brain day.